Narrating.
Hey guys, we're back. This is Fallstreak. What are you trying to say, Belly? Couldn't you just be overthinking things? No, I think Belly may be onto something. I never had anything more than this sort of vague feeling, but now that it's been put into words, I see where Belly's coming from. I'm sure of it. Amine wasn't acting like herself at the time. She seemed sick. Sick? Sick with what? Mental illness. Okay, hold up. What basis do you have to be saying that, Belly? I don't have anything concrete, but that one time she seemed a little out of it, you were saying before. She was acting suicidal, wasn't she? Belly's quiet words knocked the breath out of my lungs. My expression must have given the answer away because Belly grimaces. Dang it. Even suicidal ideation? So many signs and symptoms, yet we didn't do a dang thing. No, she wasn't like that. She told me everything was okay after that, and she went back to her normal self. I can't believe you. You didn't understand a single thing about her. I didn't either, but you never even tried to understand her, did you? You really are a coward. That's right. A truth I had tucked away deep in my heart resurfaces with crystal clarity at Belly's words. Losing father made me realize how fragile our ordinary peaceful life was. The fear of losing anything else had been so terrifying it had paralyzed me. That's why when Amine told me everything was all right, I find myself desperately wanting to believe her. I turned a blind eye to the darkness she held in her heart because I was afraid I'd lose everything if I encroached on it. Don't just go silent on me. Don't you understand? Maybe if we had helped and supported her like we should have, she wouldn't have died. What if the reason she got targeted was because of how unstable she was? Hold on, Belly, that's just speculation. Maybe there's some truth to what you say, but that's all hindsight by now. We could come up with should-haves without end if we're going to be retrospective. At the very least, you didn't think it was worth telling us she tried to kill herself? She was a precious friend that we cared about too, you know. Belly, just shut up. Your stupid face is ticking me off. It wasn't uncommon for Belly to be in a foul mood, but she seemed especially riled up today. In a way, it was actually a bit nostalgic. Even when we were younger, Belly would often get extremely upset like this. Of course, Cecil and I would never have the foggiest idea why. We're quite the ragtag group of childhood friends, aren't we? I was just thinking about the time we first met. The two of us were playing in the fields that day when we happened upon a girl that was lost. I was not lost, mind you. I was merely looking for a change of scenery. At first, we had no idea you were the daughter of the Pharaoh house. We just treated you like a normal girl that ended up really hitting it off. It couldn't be helped. You two practically begged me to come back to that little field, so you listened to more storytelling. I don't know, the way I remember it, you pretty much forced us to swear, fealty to you? Fealty? Sure. Though it was the first time we had so much fun playing imagination. Belly was the one that got us into role-playing games after all. Remember when she declared herself the leader of our little troop and proclaimed she would establish a new kingdom with us as her loyal subjects? Even back then, she was such a slave driver. Little did we know our sensitive baby Cecil would later go on to become the actual ruler. Aha, that's right, Cecil used to be quite the crybaby. You guys keep saying that, but I don't really remember anything like that. Smells like conspiracy. No, that's just called selective memory, buddy. It is true that you changed a lot when the Verloran master took you under her tutelage. I suppose. Cecil averts his eyes. He didn't like talking about the master after all. Still though, hard to imagine Evahet's garden used to be all wasteland. Before the fire of collapse burned it to ash, it had been ordinary grassland. Yet, in less than a decade's span, it had somehow blossomed into this hauntingly beautiful landscape. There's many mysteries about the fire of collapse that we haven't yet to unravel. Its origin, effects on the land, and of course the injuries it left behind. I gazed down at my wrapped hands. With great effort, I managed to flex my fingers and curl them into a loose fist. It's been almost 10 years already. Yet these hands will never hold anything. All right, calm down. Your hands aren't that badly injured. Don't read people's minds. I remember it took you a long time to get used to. There were a lot of things you couldn't do anymore, a lot you had to give up on. Yeah, but it's nothing compared to what other people went through. Like Alouette. The fire of collapse left more than just physical scars on us. Scars of the heart. Even though she bears so many of them, Alouette hasn't lost hope. It's all thanks to Amine. She alone never gave up on Alouette. She even made sure Alouette would be able to grieve properly and come to terms with her death, unlike what happened with the rest of Alouette's family. That's why I want to honor her memory. Time has begun to move once more for Alouette. But even that is built on a fragile foundation. Believing that her siblings are waiting for her back home, she only leaves that house in order to work and raise money. All because she wants to build the house her father always dreamed of. Maybe then her mother and father will finally return to her. That's what she believes. I don't know if going ahead with building the house was the right decision, but it's tough. Sometimes Alouette stops by the construction site and tells us stories about how her mommy always wanted a bigger kitchen so she could cook larger portions for the growing children, or how her little brother Dio once got stuck in a tree, forcing their pap-pap to climb in and save him. Sometimes she even sings us songs that she learned from her little sister Linny. She really loved her family, didn't she? So that the deceased might rest in peace, we must help her move on. Perhaps when the house is finished, she'll finally be able to find closure. We can only hope. It's been almost 10 years after all. Maybe, like the scars on my hands, Alouette's heart will never heal. But even then, I want to do as much as I can for her. In any case, we should probably rejoin the children before they wander off too far. Did you end up getting anything for Kalia and Triss, Autun? About that. You tried to make something for them again, didn't you? Yeah. Belly had seen straight through me. When Kalia and Triss were little, they had been quite fond of a music box that I made for them. But worn down by the passage of time, the intricate machine inevitably broke. In anticipation of today, I had spent several sleepless nights trying to repair it, but you can probably guess how it went. When are you going to learn, Autun? Idiot. In the end, I never succeed in anything but frustrating myself, but a part of me just can't seem to let go. Well, enough moping around. Looks like the kids have all scattered to the wind. Let's go catch up with them. The flowers, they dance. Under the gentle setting sun, they sway in concert to the wind's caress. Flowers of all shapes and colors. Yet one kind alone was reflecting in my eyes. Splashes of vivid blue speckled with intermittent white. It reminded me of clouds drifting through a boundless sky. This color, it's the same. The same as Mommy's eyes. Even though they were nowhere near as far away as the sky, I still couldn't reach out for them. All I could do was watch. Just like back then, when I couldn't hold on to things dearest to me. Powerless, a bystander to one's own life. That's all I was. If only I held on tighter. I gazed down at my ineffectual arm stumps. Always using this as an excuse for being nothing. How long am I going to stand idle? A wingless bird that has never touched the sky. If such a bird was born and never saw another fly, would it know its place is in the sky? Or would it feel empty when it gazed at the heavens, unable to understand why? What are you doing, lost in thoughts all alone? Oh, it's you, Aid. You had quite the expression there, you know. Aid sits down on the hill and pats the ground next to her. I sit down by her side. Silence. For a while, the two of us simply gaze at the scenery before us without saying anything. It was a comfortable silence, though. Warm and fuzzy. My eyes wander over to Aid. I find myself thinking about what kind of relationship I had with her. You could never tell what was on her mind. She was just that kind of person. But for some reason, I really wanted to know. I wanted to know what she was thinking. When she notices me looking at her, she smiles. A radiant smile that made you feel like you were being embraced by the sun. It made my chest ache. Breaking eye contact, I dropped my gaze to the patch of sky blue flowers before me. It was so close. Yet at the same time, it was so far away. Kalia. Eh? I jump at the sound of her voice next to my ear. At some point, she had gotten close, real close. Without blinking, she peers into my eyes. What? Every single part of you belongs to the Kalia I know and love. Bringing her hand to my face, Aid traces her fingers gently along the edges of my scars. Hey, cut that out. That tickles. Without warning, she suddenly leans in and blows a puff of air into my ear, sending a jolt of electricity down my spine. The heck do you think you're doing? Hey, don't ee-hee me. Why are you like this? Because your reactions are the best. Come on, let me give you a big wet smooch next. How about no? I try to fend her off, but Aid sticks to me like an oversized slug. Mwah! What are you two doing? Perfect timing, Alouette. Please do something about this. Choo! Two? Nice, Alouette. We're giving Kalia birthday kisses, Alouette. So, one for every year she's been alive. Okay! No, stop. Stop! Evaporation of sanity. My will to live drains from me as my cheeks are assaulted relentlessly from both sides. It's so fun, it's so fun! Alouette loves Kalia. Oh, she fainted. Alright, let's eat her now, Alouette. Nom nom. Let's not do that. You know, Alouette, before you came, Kalia had this really lonely face on, and was thinking about how she wanted to be a flower instead of a person. No, I wasn't. Alouette likes human Kalia. Please don't turn into a flower. Listen to what I'm saying. Wee-hee-hee, Alouette loves the faces Kalia makes. Right? I am so done with you two right now. Shoo, get out of here. Ooh, she's mad at us. Run away! The two of them run off and disappear over the next hill. Geez, they just do whatever they please. I heave a heavy sigh. Hey, Kalia. Ugh. Ouch. Such a cold reception. I feel like I've been getting roasted all day. What do you want? Daddy scratches his head. You have a good eye, Kalia. These flowers are nice. He crouches over the patch of sky blue flowers. What do you think you're doing? Hands that have been wrapped in bandages for as long as I can remember. We both knew. There was no way they'd suddenly be able to handle something so delicate. Well, that didn't go very well, did it? Daddy smiles weakly as he gazes down at the once beautiful flower in his grasp. Its fragile stalk and petals had been crushed under his unfeeling fingers. But despite that, he doesn't give up. With trembling hands, he reaches out for another. Just stop already. I couldn't bear to watch. Kalia. Daddy looks at me with that expression I hate. Don't look at me. Don't look at me with those eyes. Eyes that pitied me. Eyes that pitied himself. I couldn't stand them. They made me feel like my time had stopped. They made me remember how I used to be. A person who always felt sorry for herself, who wallowed in self-pity and comfortable misery. There used to be a time where everyone gazed at me with those pitying eyes. You poor girl, they would say. Only Aid had been different. She alone had looked past that and treated me like an equal. At first, it was confusing and surprising, but it made me realize what I really wanted. Even if it's through the goodness of people's hearts, I don't want special treatment. Deep down, I just want to be treated like a normal girl. But maybe it's hopeless to wish for something like that. I'm sorry, Kalia. What are you apologizing for? I just don't understand him when he gets like this. It felt like there was a rift between us, a gulf that I didn't know how to traverse. Why did he even want to pick that stupid flower? It was a gesture I couldn't return, a gesture I couldn't reciprocate. Something like that, he might as well just go decorate a doll. Hey, Kalia! Aid's shouts ring out to us from a distant hill. We're all ready to head out now. A rough weight lands awkwardly on my head. Daddy's hand. Time to go, Kalia. I let my gaze linger on the sky-blue flowers one last time before leaving. Wordlessly, I slide up to Daddy's side and the two of us begin to walk. Up ahead, Ada's walking alongside her dad just like us. Their hands brush and join together. It was probably an unconscious act for most families, but it wasn't something Daddy and I were capable of. There was no way to avoid looking at her, a dazzling flower she had picked in one hand and a strong but gentle palm in the other. It was as if they were dancing to the wind like all the other flowers in the field. The two of us follow in their footsteps. We walk behind the father and daughter linked to each other through their hands, unable to do the same. I thought I decided I wouldn't be like this anymore. I hated it. I hated how much my chest ached when I looked at their backs. It was an ugly emotion that I didn't want to accept. It felt suffocating, like a hole was burning through me. And so, to escape that crushing feeling, I dropped my gaze to the ground and closed off my heart. Kalia. At some point, Daddy had stopped and lagged behind. But before I can even wonder why, an incredible pressure lifts me off the ground high into the air. Whoa! I thrash in an attempt to keep balance as Daddy sweeps me onto his shoulder ride and runs up to aid in her dad. Oh? Challenging us to a race, are you? Very well, I permit you to carry me to victory, princess style, Papa. Wah! Don't just sling me over your shoulder. That isn't comfortable at all. Don't be unreasonable, Aid. I'm carrying all these picnic baskets as well, after all. Hey, we're racing too? Without warning, Noletta mounts Brestle, forcing him to piggyback for her. Hurry, Triss! They're gonna leave us behind at this rate. Favoring raw utility, Larona sweeps Triss into a fireman carry. I'm sorry, I'm not as strong as Mr. Cottard or Mr. Lyrit, so this is the only way we stand a chance. I didn't sign up for this. I have no compunction sitting this at. Blah! Let's go, Belly! Giddy up, giddy up! I'm not a horse. Mush, mush! A sled dog's not much better. Everyone. What's up with you? You're all such idiots. Ready, set, go! Daddy takes off like a thunderbolt. He ran as if his life depended on it, forcing me to hunch over in a desperate bid to stay aboard. Within a heartbeat, we pull ahead of the other contenders, but Daddy doesn't stop. Like a man possessed, he gallops through the sprawling fields as if chasing the sun itself. Huff, huff. Even long after we had left everyone behind, he keeps on going. After an unbelievable amount of time, Daddy crumples to his knees, panting heavily. Huh, huh, I didn't know what to say. It had all happened too quickly. In the end, Daddy ends up being the one to break the silence. Whoo, boy, you sure gained a lot of weight, Kalia. I don't remember you being that heavy in the past. What? Idiot? What do you think you're saying to the birthday girl? Ha ha ha. Daddy begins to laugh, wholeheartedly, with all his soul. The sound of it somehow seemed to clear everything away. The heck's up with you? Ha ha. He's laughing still. Before I know it, laughter begins to well up and spill out of me as well. We must have looked like complete fools laughing our hearts out in the middle of nowhere. There was something strange about his tone of voice, though. Daddy, are you crying? I lean over to try and get a look, but he glances down to hide his face. Just got a bit of sweat in my eye, that's all. Or maybe it's those onion-cutting ninjas at it again. The vibrations from Daddy's trembling back seep into my chest. It's how I was able to tell. Liar. Descending from his shoulders, I circle around to find that little streams were indeed flowing from his eyes. Dummy. First you apologize out of nowhere, and now you start crying for no reason? So sorry. There you go, apologizing again. Jeez. I had no hands with which to wipe away his tears, but I didn't feel like letting that stop me. Kalia. Leaning in close, I lap up the little rivulets with my tongue. Ew. They had a salty tinge to them despite their clear appearance. Ew, that's sort of gross. Your cute daughter is doing something sweet for you, so be quiet and stay still. I don't know, feels more like you're sampling me to see if I'm fit for dinner. Youch. I chomped Daddy on the nose, causing him to squeal like a little mouse. Your teeth are still sharp as ever, I see. Daddy's always been like this. Dense, unreliable, and always doing stupid things that make no sense. Also, his jokes suck. By the way, I turn to face the sun in the distance. I don't need a fancy handmade birthday present, so you don't need to stay up all night in your workshop anymore. You noticed, huh? Daddy hangs his head in shame. Clea, what did I tell you about the apologizing? Isn't it better for family to exchange thanks than apologies? You don't seem to get it, huh? Then I'll start. I knock foreheads with him. Thanks, Daddy. Thanks for winning that race for us. Daddy's eyes widen. From now on, let's exchange gratitude instead of regrets. Okay? I smile at him. Yes, you're right. Daddy smiles back at me. He rises to his feet. Daddy's hitting the thanks bank on the way home today. Ignoring his lame sense of humor, there was a clearness to his eyes that I'd almost forgotten. Ever since Mommy died, Daddy's always carried a darkness to his eyes, as if he were trapped in the past, unable to escape. I see. This is the Daddy I've always wanted to come back to us. Heh, that's more like it. The two of us survey the landscape before us, a beautiful garden that had sprung up from the ashes of collapse, like a phoenix rising from the grave. No matter what awaits us in the future, no matter what kind of fire tempers us, I will remember this sight and never give in. Where are you two? In the distance, voices were calling out for us. Come on, let's go join the others. I have to rub this victory in Aid's face. It wasn't often that I could claim bragging rights over her, after all. Wait up, Kalia. Oof. I hope I didn't pull anything. I gaze up at the boundless blue sky as I run. Lonely, yet liberating. Fatiguing, yet so free. It was an achingly empty blue sky I could never hope to reach. Ha ha ha. But even if the distance it laid was vast beyond compare, ha ha ha, today it felt like I had taken one step closer to it. He was there, Evahet's garden. Amidst its ghostly night luminescence he stood. Triss. Made with Renpy. Alright guys, that was it, I believe, since this looks like credits. So, I thought it was amazing. The artwork was amazing. The story was a little bit slow at times, but I like how it all kind of came together. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it, guys.
Thanks for watching!